What is going on, everybody? Brian Reese, the VA Claims Insider, coming at you live from Austin, Texas. And today I am talking about the differences between DoD disability and VA disability. There's a lot of confusion here. Okay, these are two completely different benefits programs. One is for military service members, that's DoD. One is for veterans. Okay, that's VA disability. Okay, now DoD disability, also called permanent disability retirement or temporary disability retirement, it's all about whether the service member's condition prevents them from performing their military duties. Okay, so in that case, you will meet a board and they will try to determine whether your condition makes you unable to perform your military duties. And if that's the case, you're going to go down one of two paths, okay, which I'll talk about here in just a second. Now, VA disability, on the other hand, is intended to make up for what's called the potential economic loss of civilian wages or the loss of civilian working time because of your service-connected disabilities, okay? That's the whole purpose of VA disability. Now, there's also some other distinctions that I'm going to walk through step by step so you know exactly what these are, when they apply, and how they might impact you. Okay, so again, real quick, DoD disability compensates military members deemed unfit for military service. VA disability compensates veterans for disabilities that are service-connected due to their military service. Now, here's a pro tip for you. Generally, DoD disability ratings are lower than VA disability ratings. Okay, why is that? Well, because the VA disability compensation system is typically more favorable, resulting in higher ratings and more tax-free compensation. The other reason is because typically in DoD disability, there's one, two, maybe three conditions that are in question. A lot of times it's only one. Whereas in VA disability, you might have 20 conditions or 30 conditions. And when all of those are calculated, you get a combined VA rating that's higher. Okay, remember I talked about DoD disability. There's two paths. Okay, I'm going to talk about each of those right now. You get a DoD disability retirement, which includes retirement pay and benefits with a DoD disability rating of 30% or higher. Okay, that's with a 30% DoD disability rating or higher. If your DoD disability rating is determined to be under 30%, they're going to give you something called a separation severance. Okay, that's what happens below 30%. Okay, now, the biggest question I get asked all the time is somebody who has DoD disability, who either separated or retired, and they want to know about concurrent receipt about VA disability. And can I get it? And is there an offset? And why is there this clawback in my DoD severance compared to my DoD disability? Let's talk about that. Okay. If you are medically retired by DoD, you are not eligible for concurrent receipt of both DoD and VA disability. There's something called an offset rule, unless there's two programs you may qualify for. The first is called combat-related special monthly compensation, and the second is called concurrent retirement and disability pay, okay, CRDP. If you qualify for one of those programs, you are eligible for concurrent receipt of both DoD disability and VA disability. Okay, I'm going to take you through a chart real quick to explain the differences, high level, between these two programs so you know. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to do is, if you look in the description of this video, okay, go into the YouTube video description. You're hearing my voice right now. I am going to link to a super high value piece of content. It's completely free, and you can go through the complete summary of differences between DoD disability and VA disability when they apply, when they don't, and what it means for you and your family. Okay, I'm going to do a recap and a summary. So let's talk about the purpose of the programs. Remember, DoD Disability compensates for disabilities that make you unfit for military service, whereas VA Disability compensates veterans for service-connected disabilities that were caused or made worse by their military service. Two completely different things, okay? Eligibility on the DoD disability side. Who is this for? Active duty, reservists, or those who are retiring deemed unfit for duty, okay? Whereas eligibility on the VA side is any veteran who meets the basic eligibility criteria of VA compensation, and they have one or more service-connected disabilities, okay? We talked briefly about disability ratings, okay? DoD disability ratings are generally lower than VA disabilities, but both programs are from 0 to 100% in increments of 10, okay? Now, let's talk about how your compensation is calculated, because this is going to get a little confusing, but I'm not going to explain everything in detail. But if you go to that blog post that's linked here, I have two examples of how in DoD disability, how DoD retirement pay is calculated and DoD disability severance pay is calculated. Okay, so the first is it's based upon your final military pay or your high 3 average salary, the percentage of disability rating you got from DoD, as well as your years of service. Okay, that's how DoD disability is determined. On the VA side, it has nothing to do with any of that. Okay, it's based upon your disability rating percentage, your combined disability rating percentage. Okay, and each of those combined rating percentages has a dollar amount assigned to it. The point is, VA disability has nothing to do with whatever your salary is, your job is. It's got nothing to do with what you did in the military, how much you made in the military, none of that. Okay, but DoD does. Separation pay. Okay, there is a one-time separation pay severance for those who have a DoD disability rating below 30%. Okay, now I get asked this all the time. Brian, why am I showing a debt from DFAS because I also get VA disability? Okay, here's why. Because DoD separation pay has to be paid back before your VA disability compensation kicks in. It sucks, I know, okay, but that's what the regulation currently is. Now, on the retirement side, if you're DoD disability with a 30% rating or higher, you're eligible for DoD retirement pay and benefits. Okay. Now, on the VA side, there are no retirement benefits. It's a straight compensation calculation. Medical benefits, on the DoD side, you can get treatment at military facilities. And of course, on the VA side, access to VA healthcare facilities. You might also get access to community care, depending on what the condition is. And access to VA healthcare, by the way, on the disability side, can also depend on your disability rating. Okay, you'll be put into a priority group. All right, let's talk about taxation, because this is another big one that I get asked. The difference between DoD disability and VA disability. Okay, DoD disability is taxable at the federal level, okay, which also sucks. VA disability is non-taxable at the state and federal level. Okay, so again, it's generally more favorable. All right, let's talk about concurrent receipt. Remember, on the DoD side, you generally can't get all your stuff plus VA unless you're eligible for CRDP or CRSC. On the VA side, retired military members with a 50% disability rating or higher are eligible for both. Okay, but remember, on the DoD disability side, you have to have qualified for CRDP or CRSC. Let's talk quick about reevaluations. You know, when can DoD disability be reevaluated versus VA disability? Okay, temporary DoD disability is subject to a reevaluation, but it could also be made permanent. Okay. Permanent DoD disability retirement is not subject to a reevaluation. Okay. That's on the DoD side. Let's talk the VA side. Reevaluations can absolutely occur for your service-connected disability conditions unless those conditions are deemed static and not subject to a routine future examination. Now, I'm throwing a lot at you. These may be terms you've never heard before, okay? If you're wondering if your VA disabilities are static, meaning they're permanent, meaning they're not going to be reevaluated, you have two options. Option one is you can ask your accredited VSO to see if they can download a copy of your VA rating code sheet from the Veteran Benefits Management System, VBMS. Okay. Most of them have access to VBMS, not all of them. Okay. The other way you can find out is by getting a complete copy of your VA claims file. If you go to vaclaimsinsider.com/blog, I have an entire tutorial where I teach you how to get a complete copy of your VA claims file. Okay. Last but not least, appeals. What if I don't like my DoD disability rating? What if I don't like my VA disability rating? DoD has an appeal process, okay, through DoD. It's separate. And the VA has a new process as of 2019 from the VA Appeals Modernization Act. You now have 3 options to appeal a denied claim. You can go the higher level review route, you can go a supplemental claim, or you can do a board appeal. Okay, we talked a lot. I covered a lot. I hope I didn't confuse you. I tried to make this as simple as I can, even though it's might feel like a complex topic. Okay, now, if you need help with any of this, okay, if you're stuck, if you're frustrated, if you're underrated, you're banging your head against the wall, maybe you're too busy to go after this. You don't have time, right? You got a busy life. You got a lot of stuff going on. You work. I get it. Maybe you filed before you were denied. Maybe you were denied and you received ratings that you don't believe are fair. Okay. Maybe you've given up completely on this, right? You think the VA is out to get you and no good could come of going again. Okay. Maybe you didn't even realize you were eligible for VA disability benefits. Okay. Or maybe you got out 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, and you're worried that it might be too late for you to file a claim. Okay. I'm here to tell you, we can help you with every single one of those situations. Okay. We can help you with every single one. The only time you're out of the game is if you quit. Okay. Now, the benefit of working with VA Claims Insider and our coaches is we are not going to let you quit. It does not matter how many times you've been denied. It doesn't. All right, we've had situations, y'all, where veteran clients have been denied 5 or 6 times prior to working with us. Boom, they go to 100%. Okay. After 5 or 6 years, after 5 or 6 denials. It's entirely possible. It is entirely possible. Now, hopefully, it's not that painful for you. You're at 50% now. You think you should be at 70. You're at 70% now. You think you should be at 100. Okay. What you probably need is a strategy. You need to be educated and you need medical evidence to help you prove the validity of your conditions before the VA. That's what we do. That's the SEM method that we teach. Strategy plus education plus medical evidence equals the VA rating you deserve faster. Okay, what's in it for us? What's in it for you? We operate a contingent fee model. If we don't win, you don't pay. Okay. If we are successful, our fee is 6 times the monthly increase, payable once with money you don't currently have. What does that mean? That means we have skin in the game to help you get every single penny that you deserve for serving our country. Okay, by now you've probably seen the banner across the bottom of the screen. It's a super easy sign-up process. VAClaimsinsider.com. Fellow vets, you are going to hear from one of our coaches in 15 minutes or less from when you sign up today. All right. I can't wait to help you get more money and benefits. I can't wait to help support your family. I can't wait to help you reclaim your identity, to make your service matter, to validate you. And I can't wait to help change your life. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice to our country. God bless you and your family. I'll talk to you really soon.